July 4th, 1776, in this very room, 56 men signed their names on a piece of document that changed the course of history, and the world has never been the same again. Welcome to Welcome Park. Behind me is the Independence Hall, the birthplace of the United States of America. This is Elfreth's Alley, the oldest continually inhabited street in America. This is the site where the seamstress and flag maker Betsy Ross lived when she is said to have sewed the first American flag. I'm standing here along 9th Street and Passyunk Avenue. These and many more in our part 2 of our 48 hours in Philadelphia. I'm standing here along 9th Street and Passyunk Avenue. There is an age-old feud between two cheesesteak shops here that draws thousands of visitors every year, and it's the Pat's King of Steaks and the Geno Steaks. And we're gonna do our own taste-off. Pat Olivieri was the originator and inventor of these cheesesteak in 1930. Since then, so many have imitated and made their own version. So who has the best cheesesteak? It's a matter of great debate, and so is the choice of cheese, whether provolone, American, or cheese whiz. One whiz whiz. Alright, so I ordered the whiz whiz. Whiz whiz, that means cheese whiz. That's the cheese, and then with, that means with onion. So they have their own way of communicating, or without, that's without. One way of choosing the best cheesesteak is the bread, the steak, and the distribution of the cheese and the onions, if you have the onions and cheese. So we'll see. Oh wow, it's smothered and slathered with lots of cheese whiz. It's really melted. Oh wow, okay. So, and it's not falling apart. It stays, so we'll see. We'll taste this one. It's good. It's really just overflowing with cheese whiz. And the bread, it's not hard, so it's soft. But I just love this part here with the cheese whiz. So that was good. Now we're going to Geno's Steak. Now be careful when you cross. This is an intersection, so just be extra careful. Watch both ways. So just a few feet away is Geno's. It's about 9:50 right now, so I would suggest you come here. If you don't want the crowd, just come really early. They are open 24 hours, both cheesesteak stands. The only thing is the parking. You have to park on the side street. You really have to look for a space. So we parked like a few blocks away. We're gonna order the same thing, what we ordered at Pat's. We really wanna compare both, which one is better for us. All right, let's see. A little bit smaller than, not a whole lot of the cheese whiz.
And not a whole lot of the beef.
The shredded beef are a little bit bigger, but not a whole lot. The onions are bigger, I think, but it's not evenly distributed. But the cheese whiz are on both sides. I like that the cheese whiz is evenly distributed, although compared to Pat's is overflowing with steak, and then in Pat's the cheese whiz is overflowing, but it's only on one side. The bread seems like it's softer than Pat's, so we'll see. Oh, it's dripping with the cheese, the melted cheese, and the bread is softer.
Cheesesteak is good, but I like the Pat steak better because it has more beef and the cheese whiz is overpowering.
Although the cheese whiz is evenly distributed, it's overpowering. But over there at Pat's, the beef is more tender, and there's more beef compared to Geno's. But I like the bread here. But overall, it's hard. I think it's a toss-up between Pat's and Geno's. Okay, that is just really our preference. You may not want onions. You may want, instead of a cheese whiz, you may want American or provolone. Welcome to Welcome Park. William Penn, an English Quaker, got a charter to start a colony in America. He came here in America in 1682 on a ship called Welcome. He founded Pennsylvania, and he was seeing this as a holy experiment, a place where all people of different religion are welcome and free to worship without persecution. And Philadelphia was the first U.S. city founded on religious tolerance and love. With the root word philo, Philadelphia is popularly known as the city of brotherly love. This was the site of William Penn's residence. The white stripes represents the streets of Philadelphia. The trees represent each of the green spaces William Penn designated: Washington, Rittenhouse, Franklin, and Logan Square. We're here at the Cathedral Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul. The tomb of Saint Catherine Drexel is also inside this church. She is the second American-born person ever to be canonized. Born of a very wealthy family, in fact, you can find a Drexel name everywhere in the city, including the Drexel University, founded by her uncle, Anthony Drexel. She became a nun and founded the Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, and dedicated her entire life to taking care of the needs of African American and Native Americans, not just in Philadelphia, but all over the country. The architectural style is Italian Renaissance, and its construction began less than 2 years after the Philadelphia nativist riots of 1844. The clerestory windows were designed at a very high level to prevent vandalism and possible future riots. This is Elfreth's Alley, the oldest continually inhabited street in America. How cool is that? Most of the residents live on the upper floors, since the first floor are mostly businesses. If we have home security cameras today like the Ring and Nest, back in the days they have 3 security mirror panels angling to the door so they can see who's at their door, and then the other 2 on either side to see their neighbors. This is the site where the seamstress and flag maker Betsy Ross lived when she is said to have sewed the first American flag. We were supposed to go to D'Alessandro's. We already drove towards there, but there's so much traffic going on. It's about 29 minutes from the city center of Philadelphia. So it's a little bit outside of the city, but it is highly recommended. Whatever I've read, there's always D'Alessandro in the top 10 of the best cheesesteaks here in Philadelphia. Maybe another day, another time in the future, but for now we're just gonna go back to the city. We have a timed entry at about 3 o'clock to Independence Hall. Behind me is the Independence Hall, the birthplace of the United States of America. July 4th, 1776. 56 men signed their names on a piece of document in this very room that changed the world. Our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence, cutting ties with Great Britain, creating a new nation, the United States of America. That changed the course of history, and the world has never been the same again. In the same room, 11 years later, the US Constitution was signed. Just a stone's throw away is where the Liberty Bell is displayed, the symbol of freedom. Thomas Jefferson resided at this site while drafting the Declaration of Independence. This is Christ Church, the birthplace of the Episcopal faith, originally Anglican. From 1754 to 1810, the church's 196-foot tower and steeple was the tallest structure in what is now the United States of America. Many of our founding fathers attended services here, and this is the burial ground of early leaders, including James Wilson and Robert Morris, signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is Old St. Joseph's Catholic Church, designated as the Church for Religious Freedom. This is the first Catholic church in Philadelphia, founded in 1733 by the Jesuits. Francis Drexel, the father of St. Catherine Drexel, was baptized and was married here. This is Old St. Mary's Catholic Church. Members of the Second Continental Congress gathered here for the first ever public commemoration of the Declaration of Independence. The first President, George Washington, came here for a solemn mass of thanksgiving for victory over the British, and when he died, members of Congress gathered here for his memorial. We love the food here. So this is dim sum garden. It's really good.
It's full pack.
The only thing it's full pack, but
Meaning to say it's good. It's a good place.
it's I got
recommended
for
2 years.
Yeah, and they're so busy with the orders and with the dining, but everything was
Good. Check it out.
yeah. So we're gonna walk back to the hotel. The following day and our last few hours in Philly were spent at the Museum of Arts. The 72 stone steps leading up to the entrance of the museum have become known as the Rocky Steps as a result of a scene from the film Rocky. This bronze Rocky statue is located at the bottom right of the steps. The museum has a collection of over 240,000 artwork that include sculpture, paintings, prints, drawings, photographs, armor, and decorative arts of European, American, and Asian origin. Some of the works of our favorite European Impressionists are on display: Van Gogh, Monet, Matisse, and Picasso. Our last stop, Federal Donuts. It's good.
It is very good, very soft, not so sweet. So I recommend if you visit Philadelphia, you come over to the Federal Donuts and get a dozen of it.
The Christmas spirit is already here in Philadelphia. So that's it for now. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video will be released. Keep on watching. Lino
And line.
and thank you for watching.